Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Tyler here. Today I am bringing you some more EA College Football 25 news, as we had the official reveal trailer yesterday, man. Definitely loved what I saw out of it, so I figured I'd go ahead and do a quick little breakdown. Not gonna, dive too deep into the trailer itself, but we'll go through a few different things, and I'll show, some screenshots throughout, talking about some different things that we saw from the trailer. And then we'll wrap things up after that, going through, some different things that we found out about some, different game modes and other stuff that has either been, confirmed or, still up in the air and questions, about the game. So we'll get right into it, man. The reveal trailer was awesome, man. Like I said, I thought it looked beautiful. Started off with this, blue turf from Boise, of course. Love seeing that. I will say, they focused a lot on presentation, and I kind of called this beforehand. I kind of expected it to be mostly presentation stuff and, getting like the sounds and traditions and all that stuff out there. And, we did at least get to see some, I'll put it in air quotes, gameplay. I'm just glad we got to see, some like in-game stuff of, player movement and whatnot. Granted, it's not actually seeing gameplay, like as, someone actually playing and seeing it from that aspect, but just being able to see, some of the juke moves and stuff like that was nice to see. So we'll go over a few of the screenshots here. Starting off with, the tradition stuff. They did a lot of different walkouts from a few different teams. You see Florida here with touching the Gator head. Boston College as well. Baylor coming out there as well. Duke with a pretty solid scene there. You see Oklahoma running out, touching the banner. Kind of surprised they didn't have Michigan doing this, but they had, plenty of Michigan throughout this trailer anyway, so that's probably why. But, it's just nice seeing, the different walkouts and stuff, some of the different traditions. And I'm not showing screenshots from every single little thing in the trailer, man, but just figured I'd go over a few of the things. Of course, you got Clemson with Howard Rock as well there. You also got the Notre Dame walkout, of course, hitting that. Play like a champion today. And more so with tradition, you see the Texas A&M fans here, the 12th man, absolutely love it. They were rocking in that trailer. Very interactive with the fans. Love seeing that, as they were mostly blocks back in the day, just kind of bouncing up and down, not really real fluid movement anyways. But yeah, the Texas A&M fans looked great there. You see Penn State with the whiteout. That's a good tradition they got going as well. You see Pitt here with the band out on the field. Texas getting ready with the Longhorn, getting ready to go. The USC, of course, the Trojan guy out front. Wake Forest with the Demon Deacon coming out on the motorcycle. You got Wyoming with their walkout as well. I'll mention the snow as well in that. It was pretty cool. There was also a scene, I think, with Washington walking out in some rain, which makes sense because it rains all the time out in Washington. So it was cool, seeing some different weather things there with some rain and snow. And also with the traditions, Iowa getting the wave, man. That is very cool to see that in the game. If you don't know, that they got a children's hospital right outside Kinnick Stadium. And, I think it's going into the fourth quarter every game. They, all do like a wave to all the, kids up there in the hospital. So that's a very cool thing and awesome to see it get put in the game. Then moving on to mascots. I will say, they showed a ton of mascots in this. You see the duck there on the motorcycle, of course, always causing a ruckus out there in Oregon. You got the LSU Tiger looking solid as always. They showed quite a few other of the mascots as well, but just wanted to quickly mention that is one thing we haven't heard anything on yet, is the mascot mashup mode. I'm expecting it to be in the game, or else why would they be showing? It was like emphasized that they showed so many different mascots during this trailer, and a lot of people loved that mode and would love to have it, and I feel like it shouldn't be too hard to have it in the game. It's mostly just a play now thing, so I'm sure you could probably do it online as well, but I don't know if that's really reasonable. It's whatever. Either way, I'm just saying I think the mascots looked good in this trailer, and to me, I think emphasizing showing multiple different mascots is them saying that it will be in the game, but it still, like I said, has not been confirmed. Moving on to another thing I liked from the trailer, man, was seeing all of the turnover celebrations, man. So you've seen Michigan there celebrating. In real life, we do the turnover buffs. I can't really tell, from what we saw if they actually had those out or not. But it looks like they're kind of just celebrating, taking a picture. But either way, it's cool to see. I'd rather have that than nothing. You see Pitt here with the turnover dunk. And then I think there's another one. Yeah, Alabama with the turnover belt there. So, yeah, it's really cool seeing those different things. And I'll go back to this Pitt graphic here. As you see the guy in the background, you see his jersey is actually way up. So that's one thing a lot of people have been talking about is the equipment. You can actually, bring your jersey up. And then also, looking at this Quinn Ewers screenshot, getting set to make a nice throw there. You see his pants, a lot of people talking about how it's set above the knees, because a lot of people do that nowadays where it wasn't really a thing back in the day, or at least just wasn't as popular. But I believe you'll be able to, customize, where your pant length is if, anyone really cares about that. Just figured I'd mention it. And then, some other screenshots from the gameplay. You got the nice stiff arm from Donovan Edwards there against Ohio State. Love to see that, of course. You see a couple nice juke moves here, man. This first one, I believe an App State player. And then, of course, the next one, a Georgia player with the old famous back juke. Used to love using that back in the day. So, nice seeing that here. You also see here the rivalry is definitely a thing. You see Illinois hoisting the turtle after a nice big win there. So should see, I would say, a majority of rivalry trophies and stuff like that in the game. Maybe not all of them, but at least that confirms you at least see some. And you see here a nice catch from Travis Hunter. And then I wanted to actually highlight after the catch when he's on the ground. And just look at his face here, man. I'm sure, since he's a cover athlete, they probably, got, even more detail with him, spending as much time with him as they did. But this just shows that they really nailed some of these player likenesses, man, because that's Travis Hunter straight up. That looks like him 110%. So, yeah, these graphics looking great, man. And I know a lot of people talking about they're worried saying it looks like Madden and whatnot. And my thing to that is I'm not worried about how it looks, man. I wouldn't be worried about it looking like Madden. I don't think Madden looks bad. It's more so about how it plays. I'm more so worried about how it feels and how the animations, translate to, what you're doing with your controller and all that good stuff. So as long as it feels good gameplay-wise, that's more so what I'm worried about rather than it looking like Madden or, whatever the case may be. I just know I've heard a lot of people saying that after this, trailer, of course, but what are you going to get? It's 2024. Graphics are in a certain spot right now. It's the way it is. It's just, like I said, for me, it's more so about how it's actually going to feel when we are playing the game. I'm going to show you, a few other screenshots throughout this while I'm yapping away, man. Not going to necessarily touch on every little thing that we saw in that trailer, man. So if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you go watch it, man. I'll link it in the description down below, man. But I didn't want to, actually show the whole trailer here. I didn't want to, get no copyright or nothing like that. So, just some screenshots and stuff. Breaking down, some different things throughout the trailer. I'm sure I probably forgot a couple things that I wanted to mention. But either way, that pretty much is the gist of what we got out of the trailer, man. So going over some of the stuff that they gave us, information-wise, going into a little bit of detail here on some different things. So we'll start with the campus IQ. I'm not going to read every little thing here, but you can for yourself if you'd like. It's all up there for you on the screen. But you see here, immerse yourself in authentic, fast-paced college football gameplay with the campus IQ. So it's supposed to, help, make it feel unique and, the pacing of college football rather than, how it is in the pros. So hopefully the campus IQ helps it feel, really feel like that college atmosphere and whatnot. So you see wide open, fast-paced gameplay. Like I said, they're trying to, reflect the true depth of college football because there's a lot of different, types of styles throughout. It's a big league, man. 134 FPS teams like you see there. Wear and tear is a new system it shows, so you're going to have to really manage your players' health and stuff like that throughout a season. This is probably, for your player in Road to Glory and more so for, Dynasty and whatnot. So I'm not sure if that will, get played into your Ultimate Team at all or whatnot. I don't really care for Ultimate Team. So if you're here for Ultimate Team information, you're in the wrong spot, buddy. I will, mention a few things on it, of course, with the news we get, but I'm not too worried about it as, compared to Dynasty and Road to Glory, which are my main focuses. And then you see there pre-snap recognition and home field advantage. Those two are kind of tied together. That's mostly, the different stuff with if you're on the road, your play art's going to be all messed up, screen's going to shake pre-play and all that good stuff. That's nothing new really there. But it's, probably more of a impactful thing in the college game as opposed to like Madden and whatnot. Because some of those stadiums get rocking, man. That is for sure. Move on here to iconic atmospheres. That's from the big house to the swamp, from Tuscaloosa to College Station. Experience the decibel-shaking soundscape of college football, putting you inside the stadium alongside all the iconic rituals and traditions that make you feel right at home. Like I said, man, they really, dove in deep to these traditions and different things at each school, man. So it was really cool that they spent a lot of time. I know I've heard a lot about, getting all the stadiums rendered and whatnot into the game. Took a lot of time and everything to get it all right how they wanted. So it seems like, based off what we've seen so far, it's awesome, man. It seems like it all came together really well. And, hey, they've had plenty of time to nail it. So I'm glad that so far they've done so, I think. So we do get confirmation here on the commentary and broadcast. It is a little less than what I thought we were going to get. I thought we were about to get like 3 different crews. A lot of people were actually thinking that, but either way, it sounds like all of the marquee matchups, top tier games are going to be Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. That's the classic commentary from, college football video games. And then for other games, you'll get a 3-team crew of Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollock, which, that's solid. I don't mind those guys. So it's just I was thinking that it was going to be like a whole separate, crew, like from an actual network. I'm not saying that these guys aren't from one, but it's just they don't really do games together the way, these other guys do. Either way, I'm sure this will, be very good. I think Reese Davis actually has uploaded a couple, videos of him, doing his, sound bites and recording. I think he's been doing it over the last couple of years, talking like thousands of hours of recording his voice and whatnot. So it's pretty cool hearing that. The clip I saw was him just like basically doing different calls for like a catch made by a different person, and he would say like different names, different stuff like that. I think there was one that was like a scoop and score that could like win a game, but it was cool hearing the different things that he did, So there's been a lot of time put into this game, man. That's what people got to realize, man. They really did put a lot of time into all this stuff. And then here we go, game modes, man. Of course, I'm sure a lot of people wanted to hear about these. So you start off with Dynasty, of course, that is in the game. And, you'll be able to do what you did from back in the day. And the recruiting will be straight from high school or direct from the transfer portal. So, of course, we figured it'd be in, but the transfer portal confirmed in the game. And then also online Dynasty is in the game where you can play up to 32 players. And I will mention, because a lot of the questions with online Dynasty will be, is it cross-platform? Now, the cross-platform question is yes. Crossplay is available in the game. But when they list the game modes, you see here, I'll scroll down. The game modes that it lists does not say anything about online Dynasty. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing or not. But according to Matt Brown on Twitter, he said that he's not saying anything yet on if it is in or not. But you would think if it was in, it would be listed here, right? Because it says the crossplay is available in Road to the College Football Playoff, College Football Ultimate Team, and Play a Friend. So why would you not be able to have it for Online Dynasty? You know what I mean? Like, that just don't make sense to me. I'm hoping that they just have it and just for whatever reason didn't list it. But it sounds like we're going to have to wait on that news. But either way, man, love to see Dynasty back in the game. Should be tons of fun. We'll say another thing on that. We'll just talk about that now. Teambuilder is confirmed in the game, man. Absolutely love that we have that. It is actually a website where you can build a team, man. It's literally what it's called, Teambuilder. You build a team, build a roster. You can, get your own logos in there, design your uniforms and all that good stuff, and then import them into the game and, run your Dynasty with them. So like it says here, you can use them and play now in Dynasty. I did hear that they will not be available for online Dynasty, which that's fine by me. I think Teambuilder is more for offline anyways. But yeah, this is definitely going to open up a lot of different options for myself and others when it comes to doing Dynasty series on YouTube. So love to see Teambuilder, man. Confirm that's in the game. I'm not sure if the roster creation will be the same, because before, you could just make whatever team you want and name every player what you wanted. You could make real teams if you wanted. So I'm not sure if that'll create a problem with certain players that maybe didn't opt into the game, and maybe you create them on your Teambuilder team and then boom, they're in there and they can transfer on, or you play with them, whatever the case may be. So I'm not sure if you'll actually be able to sit there and name every single player on the team you make and whatnot. So that might be a little limited. It might not be 100% the same as what we had before, but at least we have some version of Teambuilder back. Love to see that, man. And the next game mode, of course, the main one I'm focused on, is Road to Glory, man. You see here it says, live the life of a student athlete with your created player and take home the Heisman as you build an unforgettable college football legacy. Manage your weekly schedule, GPA, and your image. Earn coach trust to get more playing time, or use the transfer portal to get this time and the glory you deserve. So that's another thing confirmed. You will be able to transfer in Road to Glory if that's something you wish to do. So that is very cool to see that. You could not do that back in the day. And then seeing that the GPA and weekly schedule and stuff like that is, back in play. A while ago, you actually had to take like midterm exams and a final exam. Now you could do depending on what major you picked, there were some that were easy or, a little bit harder. I always just picked the FBS nicknames because it would just test you on, the nicknames of different schools. And that was super easy and would always pass it. Never had to worry about it. So, I don't know if they'll have something that easy this time, or maybe there will be more rewards this time around if you actually choose something harder. So that'll be something interesting to dive into once we get our hands on this thing, man. But gotta have to make sure you keep them grades up, man, if you want to keep playing. So definitely be interesting to see, a lot of different things we can do now in Road to Glory with, different ideas, since, that transfer portal is a thing and you can use it. Also, I want to mention, too, another thing I mentioned in the last video when I was talking about, just the official cover trailer and whatnot, that I was thinking that maybe we'd be able to play both ways in college, since Travis Hunter, cover athlete, plays both corner and receiver. And back in the day in Road to Glory, you started in high school, and you could play both sides if you wanted in high school, and you would get different offers. And you'd have different, stars on your recruit ranking, depending on, if you were better at one position or the other. And yeah, like I said, you'd get different offers for each one. So, assuming that that's back, I also have heard questions about if you even start in high school in Road to Glory anymore. So if that's gone, then that's a major L. I'll just say that right now. If you don't start in high school in Road to Glory, that's insane. Because what else are you gonna do? Are you just gonna play one high school championship game and that's it or something? That'd be sad if that's the case. But I'm definitely hearing a lot of questions about if you are starting in high school in Road to Glory. So I really hope that let's just make sure that we, can start there. Because I don't know how else you would do it, man. You got to have some sort of way to accrue, your different offers and scholarships and all that good stuff, man. So hopefully that's not a thing. But either way, my main focus here is once you then transfer into college, are you going to be able to continue playing both ways? I think that's got to be an option at this point, right? You would think, man, especially with Travis Hunter being a cover athlete, you would think that this will be an option here. If not, no big deal. I'm not that worried about it. It'll just be another cool thing for, different series ideas that we could do. And I already have an idea in my head, too. I already figured it out. If that's an option, I already know what I'm doing. But either way, I'm sure we'll figure out some more things about that over the next few weeks. And another thing I wanted to mention on that is I was listening to Twitter Spaces last night that was ran by Eric Rayweather, I believe his name is. Definitely a known YouTuber, mostly a Madden guy, and has covered, some of this college football stuff. And, it was him and RTB and Bordeaux, a couple other guys in there. They were, taking questions and whatnot and stuff. And one guy had a question about two-way X factors, which I think that's more so something with Ultimate Team that people are worried about. But it is a possibility for, your Road to Glory player, or even like recruits in Dynasty. If you recruit a two-way player, possibly, that would be insane. Now, the X Factor question is a whole other thing, man. I don't know if X Factors will be in this game or not. I'm hoping that they're not. X Factors are, in Madden, of course. Now, I'm hoping that there's some sort of abilities, or not nothing too crazy, but back in the day we had impact players. So I would like to see some form of that back with impact players, and maybe they just have some sort of ability or trait, or one or two things that you can add to them that gives them certain bonuses at certain points of the game, or certain stuff like that. There's all sorts of different things you could do, but I'd rather them keep that minimal than to have the actual X Factors. But I just thought that was an interesting topic that guy brought up. So like I said, I'm sure over the next couple of weeks we'll get some more answers on stuff. So the next game mode, College Football Ultimate Team. Like I said, man, this is not something that I'm interested in, really. I might end up, doing some videos on it just to have some stuff up, but it's definitely not a priority of mine. I personally think Ultimate Team ruined video games, sports games in general, but, anything with transactions and stuff like that in any games kind of messed a lot of things up. But that's a whole nother 10 to 20 minute rant that I'd go on about that, so I don't even want to dive into it too much. But Ultimate Team, yes, is in the game. The question for me is basically, will it be like how it was when they brought it into NCAA 14? It was pretty cool because, of course you couldn't have the actual players in the game, so the players they'd have in Ultimate Team were all players that were former players, and, a lot of iconic stars, throughout history and whatnot that you could play with. And I thought it was actually really cool. It was a different dynamic of Ultimate Team. So now, is it going to be like that still, or is it going to be with, the actual players and whatnot, or is it going to be a mix of both? I'm guessing it'll probably be a mix of both, because if you did it just with the active players, it'd be kind of tough because there isn't really that many great players. It's really widespread, so it's like, I don't know how many, I don't even know the terminology because I don't play this shit, but, your diamonds and opals and all that goofy stuff, man, I don't know how many of that you'd get from active players. But either way, man, I just figured I'd mention a little bit here. Ultimate Team's in the game. One thing I'll mention as far as crossplay, I believe you can play crossplay, but the auction house will not be cross-platform. So whatever you put, like if you're on PlayStation, you'll only be seeing stuff on the auction house from other PlayStation users, and same thing on the Xbox side. But yeah, man, we'll move on from Ultimate Team. I don't even want to talk about that, man. But Road to the College Football Playoff sounds pretty solid, man. It says experience a new way to play competitively across consoles in the Road to College Football Playoff. Will you represent your university or take a power school to climb the polls? Earn rank by upsetting the toughest opponents and securing the votes you need to progress and level up divisions. Stack wins to earn your chance at making the playoffs and take home the national championship. So I'm not 100% sure on what this is, but to me it sounds like basically like a ranked play system, but in the college football video game. And you basically will just, pick a school and, run through a rank and go through a season. Not necessarily like a season, but if you've played in ranked systems and games before, you know what I mean by a season. There's usually like a certain allotted time for you to, increase your rank. And then once that season's over, everyone kind of, will reset down a tier or so, or different things like that. But that sounds like something I will definitely look at once the game comes out, and if it's something cool, I'll definitely make some videos on it. But that definitely sounds like something solid. That's pretty much it for the game modes, man. Like I said, I already touched on the team builder. Definitely glad that is back in the game. Well, I think that's pretty much it, man. That's gonna wrap things up for me, for my thoughts. Quick little breakdown of the official reveal trailer of EA College Football 25, man. Love to see it, man. It was awesome. Comment your thoughts below. And like I said, I will put the link to that trailer in the description if you haven't been able to watch that yet. But yeah, man, that was my thoughts on the trailer. And, going over, the confirmed game modes and different stuff like that in the game. So yeah, man, I'm excited. So just a couple months away from the official release. And I'll definitely be getting that early access to try to, get some gameplay up for you guys. Yeah, man, slap that like button for me if you enjoyed. I appreciate that a lot. And subscribe to stay tuned for more coming soon. I'd expect probably, maybe not too much news next week, but I'd say in the next 2 weeks we'll probably get some more news, maybe some gameplay. But as more stuff comes out, I will definitely continue to update you guys with videos like this. And yeah, man, like I said, that'll do it, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day. Peace.